to another episode of I Guess You Shouldn't Smoke Cigarettes and Not Eat. I'm your host, Kaylee Carpenter.
And I'm Mandy Cow.
And we are here to talk about the finale, part 2.
Episode 19, the lamest title yet, The Decision.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Is there going to be a decision to be made?
You can't name this episode The Decision about something that happened the last part of the game.
Yeah. Also, like, they were consistently, like, making it someone's, like, confessional, like a quote from someone's confessional, and then they're like, final episode, you know what? Fuck that. It's The Decision.
Okay, so we ended with them on new cells, the rarest diamonds of them all.
Yeah, orange and purple, very realistic. Not like there's any other fucking gems out there.
Right, so... And we have the orange cell, which is Kyle, Nelson, Nani, Casey, and purple cell, which is CT, Tori, Devin, Emmy. And TJ like really warns them, do not be the last cell to cross the finish line or whatever. And so they start racing towards checkpoint number 4, and they have to unravel a cage with a bunch of ropes and chains around it. And then inside the cage is a safe with the code. And the code to the safe is underwater somewhere down the road. It's hard doing a final recap.
It's just like, right, it is. I was thinking about that. This, like, as watching, I was like, how are we going to talk about this?
Like, they're running here. I don't know
like,
how
I want to
long.
talk about people's relationships, so it's impossible to do it a final.
I know, and then they're just like, I want to win for this and that, and
yeah.
Need to get into
and I just hate how they're constantly dipping in and out of a theme. It's just like, they're like, we're spies, we're not spies. We're spies, we're not spies. And it's just like, if you're gonna have a themed episode, fucking lean in.
Yeah, or make it cool. Oh, lots of running. We don't really know how long it is. We don't know how long it's taking because it's edited so much.
I know. I really wanted to know how long, like, they were running for, just so I could make fun of Devin. Because it really didn't seem like that long of a run. Like, no one else was dragging.
No one was struggling except Devin, so that has to mean something.
Yeah, well, okay, so they unravel the fucking thing, though. And then, because do we get to the part, because wasn't there swimming first?
After the unraveling.
Yep, unraveling, and they had to swim without life jackets. And then Nelson apparently cannot swim without life jackets, did not know this. But he flat out panicked in the middle. And the thing is, like, I think that's the like, he can swim without a life jacket, because I mean, he swims in a pool, and like, if you have the thing, it's just when you panic, like, you can't start taking those type of breaths, because you're gonna immediately start sinking.
Yeah, and then his confessional he's saying is like his legs were cramping. I don't know how true it is, but
he flat out panicked.
He just panicked. Yeah, because he's like halfway there, and then the safety team has to get him, and he's like on shore.
I think what happened is he got past a point where the safety team was close, and he fucking panicked. Because he like came back a little bit saying, I need help, and then they zoomed right in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, because Kyle's like, I've memorized this whole code. Where's Nelson? So like, I don't know, underwater, there's like 3 symbols tied together. I'm assuming you can hear me. Okay, yep, cool. So like one of them is really deep, and then the other one's like in the middle, and then on top. So they have all those and memorize them. And CT, of course, kills it immediately and gets the farthest one down. He's just good at everything. So yeah, Nelson didn't even do that or get there. So I don't really know how that worked, or if they were like penalized.
Right, like I wasn't sure about that either, because it's kind of like usually they would say that off the like jump, be like, this person's penalized for this reason, but I think because they already lost, they just kind of cut that out. Yeah, so I'm surprised they didn't get like a penalty, or it wasn't announced then. I think maybe, you know, the results pending are the reason that no penalty was talked about.
Yeah, that's yeah, so blah blah blah. So yeah, purple goes back to their safe pretty quickly and uses their key to make the symbols into numbers, and they quickly unlock their safe and take off. And yeah, this is when like Nelson comes up to his team and apologizes, and he's like, I didn't make any excuses. Like that was on me. And I was like, wow, this is a first.
Yeah. Also, like, what excuse could you make? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he can't blame anybody.
Yeah, he could have been like, Nani, god damn it, I couldn't swim with a life jacket. Why did you bring me an extra life jacket? Like,
yeah, fuck. He really can't blame anybody. So he's smart enough to be like, I own it. I own it.
The only thing you can do at that moment. Everything else makes you look like a dumbass.
Yeah, still looks. I really think that Nelson and Devin did not deserve to be there.
No, it was so Nelson physically deserves to be in a final, but the way he panics in those high stress situations is just like, chill out, dude. Because he's the one that kind of screwed it up for Orange. Because is this the one? This where they picked up the after they get all back, they picked up their fucking. Where are we? Or were they just walking at this point?
They do that. No, it's not walking. I have that they're walking up the mountain, and I think they have to do a long walk, and then I'm pretty sure they come across the missile. I think they call it something else.
Oh, yeah. So the mountain is when Devin starts dying.
Yeah, so Devin is bitching, and he's so convincing with his bitching. He's like advertising. I haven't drank. I haven't ate anything. I'm not built for this. Like, it just sounds like excuses.
Also, like, low key, Kyle, I feel like parties just as much as Devin does.
Yeah.
But Kyle at least puts in like a tiny bit of cardio, and you can tell because, like, I don't know. Like, Kyle isn't I never see Kyle like working out like crazy amounts, you know? Like, he kind of see him here and there. I think he does just enough, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, Devin, like, you didn't know. Like, you were there for how long and you didn't put yourself on a treadmill?
No, he was doing working on his tries.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think Kyle is just naturally a really good athlete, and Devin has to really try, and he does not. So,
and then I do love when CT like is like, "Do you want me to hold your hand like a little kindergartner holding hands?" Like, this is a final, Devin. Let's go.
I know he's trying to help, but he's also that's probably not helping. But I love that he's just like, let's go. Like, he waits for him and like is pushing him along the way.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is like, there is no jog at this point. See, that's what gets me about this is like, there's no jog. They're literally just walking up a hill and he's dying. Like, he can barely move. And it's just like, Devin.
Bro. We saw
that wasn't, you didn't even need to put yourself on a treadmill. Like, you could have just like walked around.
There's hills around. Walk them.
I mean, we saw Corey going up that and down that hill. He could have walked it too.
Corey would have done really well on this final, actually.
Except for the puzzle parts.
Not that, yeah, well, one team was good at puzzles and one was not.
Well, it's like CT's the only person that can do both, honestly.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
And then CT later, like, he goes from making fun of him to like being supportive. Brain,
yeah,
got it. Heart, plenty of it.
I have that. But yeah, the way Devin comes across in his interviews is just like, this is just the way it is, and it's like you're just making excuses. So
low-key watching Devin's season of Are You the One gave me a lot of insight that Devin tries to because he looked bad. Like, it was embarrassing how terrible he reacted to things.
Yeah.
And I think he's very conscious of that and tries to portray himself in such a way. And he uses like things he says in the moment and then confessionals to like kind of tie it together. But it's like, that's not what's actually happening.
Yeah, he's been doing that the whole season. He did that in Are You the One too?
No, in Are You the One, he came off as a straight up fucking asshole and got called on his shit. And he looked terrible and embarrassing for it.
So they're walking around, not knowing that like she's done these finals. It only takes like one small thing to go in the lead. Even though they're behind, anything can happen. And then Devin's such a bitch. I have that. He's like, it's been a while since I've been to it, but this is feeling a little harder.
Okay, and low-key, it doesn't look as hard as the other finals.
No, I just watched Invasion. I think Invasion was a lot harder. That was 3 days.
Yeah, well, that and there's like they have those finals too where like you have to stay up all night. They're really fucking with your head.
They're
They have like
cold.
there's like eating challenges in the middle of it, and then you have to run after the eating challenge. Because that's when people usually die, is like they put all of that shit in their system and then they try to run after it, and it's just
Okay, yeah. So Devin's a bitch. Yeah, there's this challenge was not that hard. It was warm weather. They didn't have to stay up all night, like you said. The eating. It's just like a lot of running, which you can't do.
Oh, also in that confessional, Devin was like, Devin is the only reason Devin isn't a challenge champion. And I'm just like, no, like there are just a lot more athletic people than you. You're just happen to be good at puzzles sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, when they did show like his flashback, he did look pretty decent. Like this highlight reel, like he's a lot better. Supposedly he's training more. I don't know. That's what they did that on their podcast too.
I feel like training more means like he actually has trained. You know what I mean?
He's actually doing something, yeah.
Like
I do think
not just drinking. He got up a couple of times and did a workout.
Yeah. Yeah, he could do a lot better if he actually like hardcore trained.
Or just consistently. I mean, walking up the hill, you're not supposed to die. On like there was barely anything. And they kept getting like good breaks.
I know. What did he die on before the final?
The $1 million challenge.
Oh, yeah.
He can't run for like a sustained amount of time.
No, yeah. And once he knew that, he should have been running.
Yeah, and then slowly because Devin is dying, Orange. I mean, we hear Nelson quite a bit talking about how he can see them. And it's like, Nelson, you're all in the same spot. You can all see them, but thank you for announcing multiple times. Well, that's so the thing. That's the thing. Is like, what the fuck? You're all walking in the same position. You can all fucking see what's happening.
He even like pisses off Casey. Casey's like, what the fuck?
Oh my God, I cannot wait till we talk about that puzzle where Nelson starts just saying shit.
Triangle. What are you talking about, bro?
He goes, you don't know. It could work. So Orange's have been like slowly creeping up on Purple. And then at the torpedo, they quickly take the lead because Devin also complains about carrying a torpedo.
Yeah. Yeah, so they like Orange Cell looks great walking along with their missile. Like, I don't know how they do it if they're all semi the same size. They can't be because Kyle's taller, but they just look uniformed, and Purple does not. They don't look good. Devin was in front for a while, so all the weight's on him, and he's bitching. And then CT, they like have to stop, and CT's like, "You got to put it on your trap, dude."
Well, and then they made the girls go in front because Devin couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's just
bitch. He did not deserve to be at a final.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about how good of communication skills Nani has? Like trying to like kind of get Nelson on the right track. Like, Nelson, you're the one setting the pace. Don't go any faster than we need to right now. And then Nelson's like, okay, gotcha. Like Nelson just reminds me of like a happy little Labrador in this, and just like with like chaotic energy, just like, yeah, okay.
That's so true. You're right, Master. That's so true. I know, she's such a good team member. Communication.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And then Orange just keeps like gaining on their lead because with Devin they have to keep adjusting and blah blah blah. But then they get to a puzzle.
And they're fucked because none of them are good at puzzles.
It's really true. They just needed one of the people on the other team to help out.
One of them, yeah. And I forgot, they called them torpedoes. So whatever the difference is, probably nothing. I don't know. But now I have it in my notes. Yeah, so they come up. Orange Cell comes up to the next checkpoint, and there's torpedoes in a grid of like 4 squares all together. And all they have to do is move 3 of them to create 3 squares with the one torpedo they're also carrying. And Casey immediately is like, what the fuck does that mean? Their faces are so good. I would think Kyle should be good at puzzles or something, but
No. And I think this one, I don't know. I didn't actually read the article, but I saw an article that Tori had talked about how the producers had to help like with them solving this one because it was so hard. And like I looked at it and I don't think I could have gotten it. Like that would have taken me for fucking ever.
no, yeah, I wouldn't have either. A lot of these puzzles I wouldn't do super well at.
Especially under pressure. I don't think I'm a good pressure puzzler.
I know, this really showed how, at least to what we saw, how far behind Purple was. Because it looked like they were working on that shit for a long time.
Yeah. And like you can just see Nelson getting chaoticer and chaoticer. And he's just like, he's like, okay, remove this. And then they're like, look, 3 squares. And they're like, no, Nelson, that is a rectangle. And then Nelson goes on this whole thing about what if we made 3 triangles? And then they're like, no, Nelson, triangles do not make squares. And then he legit tries to he legit it's just so hard to even. He legit tries to argue with Casey and Nani about how a rectangle can be a long square. He was like, it's a long square. And it's just like, no, it's not, Nelson. That's a fucking rectangle. And the thing is, like, they probably cut out so much of this fucking argument.
I know. And it was funny because like on Tori and Lisa's podcast, Tori was like, poor Nelson. He was just doing whatever he could, like, just to do something. It's like, maybe just do nothing. And this one, it's okay.
Sometimes it's a lot better to shut the fuck up and just stare at a puzzle that you don't know. And like, I watched one of the earlier seasons and Leroy goes, in this challenge, sorry for audio listeners, but he like points up and goes, all I did was give like a confused look and point, and that's how I helped solve it. And it's like, Nelson, that's all you needed to fucking do.
Yeah.
Kyle got it.
Yeah, Kyle understood the assignment. Yeah, so they're just lost, and then finally Purple approaches and reads what they have to do, and CT literally looks at it for 2 seconds and he's like, done, and moves the missiles and solves it.
I fucking love it. He's like, guys, I got it. Then he hops around, he goes, square, 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 boom.
The only thing is, I think Tori's podcast talked about CT did this puzzle before in a previous challenge, and they're like, I don't know if you remembered it or not, but the motherfucker's done it before, so that's probably part of it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what experience gets you. You've seen it before, you fucking solve it quickly. And I think I made a comparison where he goes square, 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 and I just figures it out like fucking Rain Man.
Yes, immediately. It's so funny. And they destroy it, so they can't copy it. Orange is very sad. And Purple approaches to the next checkpoint, and there are these big wired balls. There are overnight supplies inside, and they have to run along with it on the path and like keep it on the path, which is, hard to do.
Yep. And of course, Purple has a strategy of let's have someone push it and then also have people on either side to keep it even so it doesn't, roll off the side. Like a smart, because, if it rolls off the side, that's a lot of time, huh?
It's a lot of time. It seems pretty obvious to like surround the ball, Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I mean, I think most people know if you've pushed a ball before, like it's very hard to control because like balls do whatever the fuck they want. So like you should maybe, it's a fear.
Nelson probably thought it was a rectangle.
Yeah, he was probably like, I found the other fucking square. He's like, guys, it was here all along.
It was right
here. Nelson wasn't trying to like get in the thing and just run in the fucking ball.
Oh, yeah, you might as well have done that. So yeah, Orange finally solves their puzzle with producer help. Is that what you're telling me?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. There's no way they could get that together. And then they immediately like push the ball too far and it gets off the track and like Casey's getting pissed.
Okay, so when you say they pushed the ball too far. Nelson,
yeah, sorry.
Nelson decided to go, I big man, big muscle. Let me show you how far I can push ball. And the thing is, it went right off the side of the fucking mountain. Stuck in a tree.
Off an edge.
Yeah.
Rush.
And it's like any chance they had to catch, because Devin sucks, went out the window when Nelson pushed the ball off the side of the mountain.
Yeah, so really, this is a lot of Nelson's fault. And if they had one person that could do a puzzle, this would have been a totally different game.
Ooh, low key, what if Emmanuel was still there and Nelson and Emmanuel were in that final challenge and Nelson went home and not Emmanuel? Who under pressure is good at puzzles?
Yeah. See, I think Emmanuel and Logan should have been in this final and not Nelson and Devin.
At least not like one of them needed to go. I didn't like
one of them. Yeah. I mean, there's always like one person that you're like, okay.
I know I had to like hate on someone. I didn't want to root for everyone there. And it was nice to hate on both of them.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. We had a good time.
But like the mofos that never saw an elimination, I mean, I don't think we can count Devin's an elimination.
No, because that was made for him.
It was made for him. Fucking producers, we're watching you.
Yeah. Fucking it really looked like you were watching. So at that moment you were like,
I was looking at Leo because he's like on the screen, he's so cute.
Oh my gosh, he is straight leaning right now. Look at how fluffy that boy looks.
I know, his hair is crazy right now. Oh yeah, Nelson pushes the ball off the track.
And essentially puts them way behind, even further behind Purple.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like Purple does it pretty easily, and they complete checkpoint 6, and that's the end of the day. Finally, Orange Soul follows, and yeah, that's the last checkpoint. And TJ comes out and shows them their home in a cave with these pretty lights, and it looks very uncomfortable and spooky, and everyone looks kind of creeped out.
Yeah, they actually look kind of scared. It did look pretty spooky. But then my favorite fucking part is Nani and Casey when they get their fucking canned foods and they're sharing their canned foods together, and they're just the cutest fucking couple I've ever seen in my life, and I love them so much, and I just love them.
I know, they've been down a long road, and it's really cool that they're together and just so happy.
They weren't like messy about it. Like you could tell they had feelings, and they were both in relationships. They both got out of their relationships, and it's just like it's just cute.
Yeah, I don't even care if they were messy. That was true love.
I know. Like, but the thing is like they low-key kept it on the low until everything was good. And it's like, that to me is like good people. They cared about the other people that they were with, and then they just, which is why I fucking love them.
You know, because like last season they barely talked, right? Because we thought it was weird.
I'm pretty sure they probably did talk, but whenever cameras were around, they went their separate ways. And I think that was because Casey and her girlfriend had a conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And they were definitely still together. So
yeah, because I think the first time we saw them like kind of flirting in a season, there was a rumor of a kiss.
Yeah,
but that was like kind of all that happened, I think, or supposedly, allegedly, whatever.
Yeah, they just made them look really bad.
Yeah,
producers and editing. So that's exciting. They're super cute and they're like so happy. They talk about like they always wanted to go camping, and Nani was like, I did not want to go camping like this.
So adorable.
So I was saying that we don't know because we're not in their relationship, but they keep talking about how much their relationship evolved during the challenge, and they didn't see it going that way. So they must be, I don't know, must be a great connection.
Well, yeah, I think they started dating right before the season started. But typically when you start a new relationship, you have your job, they have their job, you're traveling somewhere, blah, blah, blah. And they essentially got to spend 2 or 3 months alone in a house getting to know each other better with no extra, bullshit.
Yeah. That's a make or break situation, really. And
it made them, and they're the most adorable.
Yeah, because they just moved in together too. Okay, so
so
some
much.
stories. It's so cute.
I don't want to talk about what's next.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
I'm so sad. Like I was legit crying in the middle of this.
Yeah, me too. Like the producers must have been so happy.
I know they're like finally some juice this season.
This is some shit, and we're gonna put you all through it.
And you know when they love to say, like they were like, Devin, we need you in this confessional saying this is a challenge first.
Yeah. So they make it. Wow, you're killing me. I can't record. I gotta make out with you. Look at him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, let me tilt this way, tilt that way.
He's like literally blocking my whole face. He's like, you're obviously talking to me. Okay, so next day, they are coming down to next checkpoint, and it is looking a lot like the first elimination of the season.
Ooh. You think this has anything to do with what CT said, or not CT, what TJ said earlier, that the cell has to finish first to be safe?
Yeah, I think it's gonna go together. I wonder why did he even warn them? He just said like something like nonchalant, like don't be last, but he was just so, don't be last. You will regret it for the rest of your life.
Also, I hate how they made them like stay the night. Like they didn't do that right off the bat.
Yeah, I know. Because when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, that's really messed up.
Yeah, like make Casey and Nani have like a fucking romantic night together, like eating each other's canned foods, and then takes it all away.
Yeah, so TJ's like, Purple Cell, you're safe to go into my final, and now Orange Cell, you were last, and now you have to go against each other in the elimination called Back Me Up, playing as individuals. So Casey versus Nani and Nelson versus Kyle.
My first note on this is in all caps, fuck this, because I'm okay with Kyle Nelson. That's fine.
Yeah, that's great. Love that.
Casey, Nani, why would you do this to us?
Why? Why? To all of us. Like, they were heartbroken. Like, one of them was going to die. Like, going off to war.
Terrible. But let's start with the more boring one.
Okay, for sure.
So, Kyle versus Nelson. And, like, honestly, Nelson does deserve to go. So, but, like, Nelson's first thing when they're giving, like, speeches, he goes, I'm pretty speechless right now. And then he gives a speech. And I'm like, Nelson, that's not what speechless means.
Classic Nelson.
I'm pretty much speechless, but let me get out these 5 sentences.
Come on, you expected that. It's so stupid. Okay. So yeah, we really see how good like Kyle is here, which I always think everyone kind of underrates Kyle, and he's actually really fucking good.
I think everyone underrates Kyle because Kyle's funny and they don't take him seriously, but he's actually like a really good competitor when he like puts his mind to it. I just don't think he's good at dailies when he knows he's safe.
Yeah, which is kind of smart, like don't overdo it.
Yeah, and that's what Kyle's whole game is. He wants to be under the radar. He doesn't want the power.
And did he go into 2 eliminations or was it just 1?
I think was it 2 this year?
Yeah, it was 2 because he went against Ed.
Ed.
Oh, we miss Ed.
Gosh, can you imagine if he was in the file just fucking cheesing it up?
Yeah, the last cell to back. I'm excited, guys.
So congratulations. I'm so glad you won. It is great to see you.
Kyle's doing this for his baby. Little boy baby.
The baby.
I gotta do it for my baby. Oh, I think it's so funny. Yeah, so Kyle is just bigger, so it comes down to size, really, because Nelson's like a beast, but
yeah, have we explained what the elimination is? So it's the first one,
right.
But they're like tied up back to back, and essentially they have to like crawl to the other side and then go off the platform.
Yeah, get on there and get the person off, which has to be so much like ab work and
Well, yeah, because you're essentially just like dead weighting someone and then trying to like move inch by inch. And the thing is,
Yeah.
it's like a wood thing. And Kyle was talking about in his first round,
Ugh.
he's literally using his nails to scrape by. Like that's gotta fucking hurt.
Yeah, you see it too, like the scrapes. And I know Kyle's just going like inch by inch. And yeah, obviously he's doing it for his baby. He's got a lot to, back at home.
But I low key think so. Like round one goes to Kyle, and honestly, I don't know if they kind of just edited this. It didn't look like it was that difficult for him.
Yeah.
The second round, I think Nelson put up more of a fight,
Yeah.
but Kyle ends up winning still. But I think it kind of does go a lot to what CT was saying, how Nelson is one of the like best like physical challengers to exist. Because I think he is like Nelson is super, super athletic. It's just he can't communicate. We know what's wrong.
Not a good team player.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
really, 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 really dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great for Nelson on the other aspects. But Kyle, I think, has this like ability to how did CT put it? He has like this like click in where he just doesn't like give up. And I think that showed because like he's literally using his nails inch by inch and not taking anything away from Nelson. I don't think Nelson was like willing to do that. I can't hear you.
Dang it. He's a pretty boy. He cares about his nails.
He's a pretty boy. A pretty boy that cares about his nails.
He cares about his nails. Yeah, and I just think it's like you have a newborn baby, like it's not even born yet, and that's who you're trying to get the money for. A little different than Nelson and his mom, and I hear something like that.
I mean, for his mom one day and just for him the next.
Yeah, we don't actually know. Yeah, so and this is sad too because when they're done, Kyle's like, love you, brother. Nelson's like, love you too. And he's like, it just came down to weight. Like, that's it. Like, he's trying to make Nelson feel better. And even TJ comes over.
Yeah, tries to make Nelson. I like TJ's talk really kind of got me emotional too because it was really like genuine. Like, hey, like you did good. Keep your head up. Yeah, the TJ talk just got me really emotional because it was just like genuine and it came from like a place that TJ knows what it's like to be like disappointed in a sport, and he was just giving like real genuine just like words of encouragement. But did you by chance like watch completely through where it like does the final words?
Oh no.
So Nani's was adorable. We love Nani. Nelson's was like him literally the first sentence out of his mouth was like, I don't have any words. And then he talks for like another 2 minutes. But he's like, they tried to make me feel better. I don't feel better. I'm not a challenge champion. And it's like, and even he's just so fucking dramatic. What defines a champion? I don't even know anymore. Like, okay, Nelson. That was like in his confessional.
So dramatic. And like he was like second place in Invasion, I think. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah, also I don't know. I understand like everyone wants to win and stuff but like this is a reality TV show. Why is it that important to you? Like, and not to like a lot of people are sitting there trying to provide for their families, and Nelson very much seems like a single guy living a single life, doesn't necessarily need like a shit ton of money, like I have multiple kids type of money. So it's like, why are you acting like the end of the world right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Go back on your OnlyFans, bro. You'll be okay.
Get that money there. Go number one on OnlyFans, kid.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, so Nelson like leaves and yikes. So yeah, he says one day I'll be a champion. Better believe that.
I just don't actually think he will be though.
I don't either, but he'll be back.
He will be back. Yep.
We will be annoyed of him.
I mean, gotta have one of them.
So you want to start talking about this?
Gosh damn it. So then it gets to Nani and Casey. It was just the fucking hardest thing I've seen because they're literally just like saying nice words to each other. They're like finally like hooked up. And It's like you can tell it's something hard, like it's hard to watch because literally all of the other cast members can't fucking watch. Like they're all looking away. They're like, this is the saddest shit I've seen. Like Tori looks like she's gonna start bawling, and I feel that because I did start crying.
Yeah.
And obviously in this point, like Casey is a lot more physical player. So like if they do both go at it, I think it's pretty obvious Casey's gonna win. And they kind of start in round one, goes to Casey. And it's just God, I don't even, it's so hard.
I mean, they're like confessionals before they go. They're both crying. Like, have we seen Casey cry? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. And that's the thing is like they both just want the best for each other. And so they both don't know how to do that. Like they're both like, do you want to win? Do you want to win? And they're both like crying. And then after the first round, like Casey's like, Nani, are you okay? Like checking to make sure she's okay. And
there's a lot of emotions and love and
yeah. And then round two, you can tell Casey kind of gives that to Nani because Nani really didn't try the first round. And honestly, I appreciated it, you know, like thank you.
I know before they start, Casey's like, are you sure you don't want to win? And Nani's like, you're my opponent, Casey. Like, stop this. Like,
yeah. Right before round three, and then Casey ends it, and it's the worst thing I've ever seen. And like all during this time, like Nani's having confessionals about how much like Casey means to her, and how like Casey is like kind of the first time like she's held hands in public with a different girl, like with a girl, and it's really fucking hard to watch.
Yeah, it's really hard to watch, but it's also like what they say is so beautiful because yeah, Nani's like, my confidence has come from my relationship with Casey, and I'm sure there's so many people out there that can relate to that and really understand. It's just real. Like that shit's real.
Yeah. And like low key, so the person that I kind of dated over the summer, not the best person to be dating given the circumstances. Kelly, you can leave that in. But like so the one thing I do really appreciate about her, it was like the first time I did hold hands in public with a girl or like kiss a girl in public. And it's like I will always appreciate her for that because it really was like a heart palpitation thing until it like finally happened and you don't care about it. So it's like that is like a big deal. And I love that Casey was that for Nani because they feel like they're like real and gonna last, and it's beautiful.
It's very beautiful, and thank you for opening up about that, Mandy. That is so great. Yeah, and then after they kiss each other, and Kyle's of course joking, and he's like, wow, I've never seen anyone do that after an elimination. He's like, Nelson and I were gonna do that.
Yeah. Which like if Kyle wasn't making those jokes, it would have been so awkward. Kyle is needed everywhere. He's needed everywhere.
Yeah, I love Kyle. Man, if I was in the challenge house with Kyle, we would just make jokes the whole time.
I know. Like Kyle just seems like the most fun person ever. I just fucking love him.
So fun. I know I would get annoyed of him every now and then, but then I would just tear him apart and he would be able to take it. So like win-win for me.
Yeah, he loves when someone else gives him shit. He fucking loves it. Like I love that laugh. He gets like, oh, you know. Like,
I know. That's so hard to find. Like
yeah.
With egos or whatever, he's great. So so he lines it up a bit, and Nani's like, go win this shit for me to Casey.
That was terrible. Oh my god. Like that all
of it.
It was bad.
It was bad. So yeah.
Also, but like, where the fuck were they telling Nadia and Nelson to go? They just had them like walking back up the mountain. Like, where the fuck are they going?
I don't know.
They're like, we need a shot of you walking away. Can you just like walk up that hill for a second? Climb over those rocks if you can. So then TJ brings the group back together and calls up Kyle and Casey. And them together is Kale. It doesn't even fucking make sense, but all right. So he calls up Kyle and Casey and he tells them, so either you can choose to stay partners, and they both say no, or you can infiltrate, and of course they use the word infiltrate, and can choose any of the other people to be your partner for the rest of the final. Kyle goes first and he says, Tori, come on over here. And then Tori,
Okay.
yeah, Tori and Kyle are partners. And then Casey looks hesitant for a second, but I don't know why, because there's an obvious choice here. And she makes it. And it's CT.
Yep.
Which really, at this point, I just get super upset because I'm like, that would have been Nani, and Nani would have picked CT, and that would have, the same thing would have happened. That happens.
The same, yeah. Pick CT. Your life is good.
Yep. So that leaves Devin and Emmy as partners, and then we have a confessional where Devin is saying how maybe because they've been partners before, they can pull one off.
You can't. Emmy can. You can't.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that makes me so mad. Okay, so yeah, CT's a little nervous because Casey obviously got hurt in the final last year, but that was just bad luck. Like, get over CT.
Yeah. Also, because what, her knee gets blown out every fucking time now. And also CT, low-key, you could carry Casey to the final in case that happened, but whatever. You just don't want it to happen uphill. If you're on the downhill portion, I would be like golden,
Yeah, let's go.
I did love Kyle and Tori's, where Kyle was like, well, her strengths are my weaknesses and my strengths are also her strengths. And then Tori realizing what he said, that adorable smile that it was adorable. I love them.
For sure. They're great partners really at the end. So this is the last leg of the race, and all they have to do is run to the top of a mountain to retrieve a code that is very, very long, and then go back down to where they are because they have a keypad that opens up their safe that has the $1 million diamond in it, which is black.
Black diamond. No,
black diamond. It's
because
rare.
Spies steal all the diamonds. That's not just something that happens in James Bond. That is a real life thing.
That's all they're looking for. They're not looking for information, or
we don't want to know strategies of other countries. So we're definitely not going into IT departments at major corporations. What we're doing is we are going to mountains and we're stealing diamonds in safes.
It's pretty deep. Deep writing for sure. And then the twist is that the team that does it the first gets to decide how much they want to share with the other teams.
Kaylee, are you saying that's the decision?
Wait, is that the name of the episode?
This is what it all comes down to.
Whoa! The decision, which is a pretty good twist and has also backfired in the past.
You're not fucking LeBron. Don't call it the decision.
You're not LeBron.
It was like LeBron had his whole fucking decision that backfired too. So it's like, get the fuck out of here with that name.
Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know why they named it. It's really, why did they name it that?
Honestly, I would have enjoyed Climb Up Mountain better, but
Mountain Climb.
Yeah.
Torpedoes. Or missiles, which one?
Black Diamond.
Safe.
20-digit code.
Keypad.
I'm out of things.
Oh my god, seriously, MTV taking notes, obviously. $1 million. Wow, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I was like, do you think that Black Diamond is actually worth
suggestions? There we go.
It's Monday for us, so
I drank all weekend, guys.
I smoked all weekend, guys.
Yeah. We lost many brain cells. RIP. Blah, blah. Okay, so this is gonna be really fun to recap of them running up a mountain.
All I have is funny things that Emmy says, pretty much.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, so CT and Casey are first, and then Kyle and Tori are behind, and then Emmy and Devin, And Devin's already struggling because he can't go any faster or he will collapse. And Emmy's trying to say that's in your head, but he's like, no, it's not.
I do love how Emmy keeps saying, Emmy just keeps saying, it's an illusion, Devin.
I know. Oh my gosh, her English is great.
But so low key, I think Devin wasn't pushing himself completely for majority of this final. I think he was very nervous about the look of him dying during a final, that he purposely did not push himself 100% majority of this time.
So if he did push himself 100%, like he would have.
I don't think he still would have won, but it would have been, better to watch because he's not pushing himself at all. And if you look at the end of when they're like running back, like everyone else is almost dying on that like final run back. And even like Emmy and Devin are not even breathing hard.
Yeah, I bet especially not because she waited around for him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so CT and Casey get to the code first, like on top of this rocky, like they look really scary actually, where the challenge.
I did kind of like how they didn't have like a path and they kind of had to like crawl around the mountain and be like, is this the best way up? And then you kind of see like Kyle being like, that's way too dangerous. I don't think they'd make us do that.
So funny. Yeah, I like to like when there's not a straight path. And so they get the code and CT are back down the mountain, and then Kyle and Tori are next.
Although when they got to the code, I did like CT's like first thought. He goes, guys, 20-digit code. That's a lot of numbers.
Thanks, CT. That one.
And then as they started running down the hill, though, Casey, like, I think is calling out to CT, being like, this is where I have to be careful. I can't go down hills. Because I don't know that her knee is fully healed yet.
I don't think so. I don't think she's supposed to do this challenge.
Yeah, I don't think she's supposed to run downhill. And she was essentially like, CT, this might not go well.
Yeah. So yeah, then Kyle and Tori are next. I don't really have anything about them getting their code.
Just that I think Kyle was supposed to remember like 5 numbers, maybe 6.
A lot. Like 10 for 10 numbers is a lot.
Yeah, because I think your brain kind of maxes out at 7. That's why like numbers are the way they are.
Oh.
Cool. I don't actually know that to be a fact, but someone said it to me once, and like I am gonna continue saying it.
Yeah, I totally get that. That's learning facts from people.
This one I believe was a teacher, so we're gonna count it.
That's fair. Yeah, and I swear my cognition class I took was either like 7 or 8 digits. I think it was 7.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really hard. And then they have to run the whole time, so I don't even know how you do that and remember.
No. So this is also because I think Devin and Emmy, they were like up there the longest, obviously, and they're the last ones down. But Devin the entire time is telling Emmy to like repeat the numbers back. I'm gonna keep fucking digging in at Devin. And that's what I find interesting about this episode. Yes. It like keeps making Emmy say the first like 6 numbers to him. And then at the end, he's like, he does all the numbers himself so that he can have his final little moment of, I have good memory.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Stupid. Impressive, but like trying so hard.
Yeah, I don't love it. Like, let Emmy have her moment too.
Yeah. Okay, so CT and Casey arrive first at the keypad, and they like enter the code and nothing happens, and then Tori and Kyle arrive and they're trying, and like it's between these two teams, like it could be. But it looks like CT and Casey are trying over and over again, and CT's getting pissed. At least that's what it looks like.
So I think on the first go, because I don't love the editing. I wish we would have gotten just like full on, this is what's happening. Because I think Tori and Kyle, well, we'll say it in a second, but like I think Casey got her first number wrong, and I think they only did it twice. But it's like I wish we would have had like a real view of it, because I think from first to second place we're only like 10 seconds apart.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. That's what they say later. So they do unlock their safe and they get the $1 million diamond.
CT and Casey. And then
They're
CT
so happy.
is celebrating and Casey collapses to the ground and has no emotion, which I relate to.
I know. And like they're out of breath for so long. Like it must have been so hard.
I know, they push themselves to the max. And then finally, Devin and Emmy get there. Devin does his little number thing. Look at me. I'm so impressive with my memory.
It can't quit.
Yeah. But they don't even collapse. Devin isn't even breathing hard. Like, Devin's whole thing about not pushing himself was just so he didn't embarrass himself and gas out, which, fuck you. You could have pushed yourself.
Yeah, nothing to lose. He's like super worried about not finishing the final because you don't get any money if you don't.
I'm telling you, watch Are You the One, and you'll get an insight of how Devin is trying to control the narrative on himself.
Oh, yeah. Like a bananas thing, but he's just not that good at it.
No. Well, because he doesn't have anything to back it up with.
Exactly. He doesn't.
No.
So annoying. Yeah, so yeah, Tori and Kyle are like 10 to 9 and Tori's crying and Tori's like sorry and Kyle's like you don't need to be sorry about anything and they have a cute little moment.
I low-key was kind of rooting for those two.
Yeah, me too, because I mean CT winning again is boring.
Also, as much as I love Casey, she just doesn't give like the kind of like fun emotion you want to see at the end like that.
Yeah, she's in shock for a long time.
And well, the thing is like I feel like I would react in a very similar way that Casey does, but that's also like I'm not a reality TV star, you know, so that's why, you know. Well, there's reasons why.
And she won Big Brother.
I know, but she just doesn't have any fucking emotions when it comes to like winning. And you could tell even when they like announce it and she goes like, "Oh yeah, woo, hell yeah!" Like it was like completely performed, you know?
Yeah, it was fake.
Yeah,
so weird.
But you know. Such as like the producers probably were like, Casey, we need a little more from you. And she's like, okay, I'll try to scream.
Yeah, this is a lot of money. So CT is officially a back-to-back champ, 5-time champ. And Kyle's like, well, I guess I wasn't come back now, so I'll be back.
Which love. That's I think the silver lining of him not winning is Kyle is coming back.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of finals, has not won, so.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I feel like Kyle will eventually win.
So Kyle next season, he didn't win. I played a flawless season and I cannot complain. And Emmy's like, I loved it 100% and I am in love with the challenge, the usual.
Also, I hate how many times Devin has told people they've played a flawless season. Like he said that to Emmanuel as he was leaving. I'm pretty sure he said it to Logan. Like I'm pretty sure he said it about Josh after he left. It's like not everyone played a flawless season. Like shut the fuck up. Stop saying flawless.
No, and you lost. Like you should have got CT out of there after like the Vet Alliance died. Like let's get CT out. Who's gonna win?
Yeah, because low key, like Devin was right. His best chance of winning a final is against Josh. He should have tried to keep 100%. Josh there.
Yep. And Kyle took him out.
Well, can you imagine if it was Josh instead of CT? Like, Kyle probably would have won.
That's so funny. So now it's the big decision of how much money CT and Casey are gonna do, and they like really play this. Like, yeah, CT's like, well, what would these guys do?
Mm-hmm. And historically speaking, everyone has done the selfish thing. So we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yep, that's true. So they awkwardly kind of say that they're gonna give you 100,000.
Well, they ask Casey, and Casey like blanks, which is also relatable. I understand Casey. Like I get it. Just not very.
I know. She's like,
you know. Yeah, and then essentially CT is like, so we've decided, you know, we'll keep 100 to each of you. And everyone's in shock. Emmy literally doesn't know what's going on. She has to ask multiple times. And Tori says, you are getting $50,000. And then she starts crying. And then she gives like Casey like this real hug. as it's like setting in how much money she's gonna get.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that is, I like looking back at the earlier seasons when they're like splitting $15,000 amongst third place. Like that would be great, but that's also not that much money, you know. Like that would last a few months.
I know it's a lot of money to not win.
Yeah, but like 50,000 is nothing to kind of snuff at individually, you know. That can put you in like a better place.
Yeah, huge, especially because I mean they get paid. Spoiler alert: they get paid each episode, so all together that's really good money. And now next is the reunion.
I am so excited. Love the previews. Love that Amanda's calling Fessy a dog. Let's get it going.
It's gonna be great. So we're gonna take probably next week off for the holidays. Okay, listeners.
What holidays?
But yeah, we'll probably come together in like 2 weeks, and I'm assuming it's gonna be a 2-part reunion, and we'll just get it all off together.
If not, you will also still be hearing from us at the same time. It's only one part.
Yeah, it will still be the same time. Just more or less content.
Yeah.
And then we'll be doing All Stars.
Hell yeah. And then I'll have to, actually watch that.
We can watch it together, but not talk about it.
I'll be like, Kaylee, this is it. This is when it's happening. I'm going to be curled up in a ball right now.
You're like, here's a joint.
Yeah. I'll be like, no, anxiety.
Here's an indica gummy.
Like, give me some chamomile tea, please.
Oh, I'll do that.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Yeah, it's been. And thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye. So Kaylee, where can the listeners find us at?
Yeah, if you want to follow us, DM us, whatever, our Instagram is shouldn't smoke cigarettes, not eat. And we love posting and talking shit or praising. Our latest post was about Nani and Casey, obviously. Blowing up. So
Shout out Derek for liking that post.
Derek and Manuel for liking our first one. Well, technically our second, but
We love Amanda.
yeah, thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.